here in Concord, Massachusetts, site of one of the first two battles of the American Revolution. Following the Boston Tea Party in 1773, the British passed a series of laws that the colonists referred to as the Intolerable Acts. Most notorious of them was the Boston Port Act that shut down the port of Boston, effectively ruining the economy and the livelihood of the people of Boston. It was put under military control, and for the next year and a half, tensions grew and grew and grew. The British received word that the rebels were stashing weapons and supplies here in Concord. We're about 20 miles outside of Boston. So early in the morning in April, they began their long march, seeking to find the weapons, destroy the weapons, and arrest the rebel leaders. It is at this time where there's the famous ride by Paul Revere and William Dawes, in which they rode throughout the midnight, telling the militia, the British are coming, gather your guns, get ready. The first place that the colonists encountered the British was down the road near a town called Lexington. It was there on the Lexington Green where a small number of patriots faced off against hundreds of British regulars. So you are standing where the American Revolution began. The Lexington Green was the site of a skirmish between the colonial and British forces on the morning of April 19th, 1775. The battle only lasted a few minutes. From Lexington, the British troops headed to neighboring Concord. There, colonists prevailed, forcing the British troops to retreat. The twin battles of April 19, 1775 set into motion the 8-year fight for American independence. Somehow, some way, a gun was fired. A skirmish ensued, and several patriots died, and the British began marching on toward Concord. But by the time they got here, they found that most of the weapons had in fact been moved. They burned what little they could, and they began their long march back. It was here, near this bridge, the North Bridge, that over 1,000 American patriots came across the hill and encountered the British. This was the first significant battle of the American Revolution. It was here where there was the famous shot heard around the world. From this bridge and then on their way back to Boston, the British were under constant fire from militia, firing behind trees, from behind homes. They more or less harassed them the entire way back. By the time they got back to their headquarters in Boston, it was clear that what begun as a series of protests and boycotts had now turned into a full-fledged revolutionary war.